Hey, this is Kenneth, Capital Advantage Tutoring. It's my job to get you past the Series 7 exam. So, what I'm going to try to do today is another little niche of option questions that people get screwed up on. It's when you have a buy and a sell, and it's not exercise or expire or anything like that. It's literally buying an option and selling it or closing out a purchase. So, a lot of people get confused on it. And I do think the vendors go a little deeper than they need to on this, try to really confuse you. But let's do some questions and figure this shit out. Okay, so here's the first question. Do you remember? Keep in mind when it's the buy and sell stuff, it's actually pretty easy. You just got to make sure you read everything and catch what they're saying. Sometimes they hide it in a story, sometimes they don't. I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to show you how the vendors do it where they try to screw with you a little bit. So here, let's read this first. By one XYZ March 60 call at 5 when the stock is at 58. We don't give a shit about where it's trading when we put it on. Just don't. XYZ then increased to 70 and he closed the option. Very sexist, could be a woman. He closed the option at 12. What is a taxable effect? Okay. When they throw that taxable effect in, that just means what's the realized gain or loss. That's all it really is. It's nothing crazy. Now, let's really dive into this. So first of all, to understand this a little bit, you need to get down to this. This is the product. Oh, I did it in white. So I do it in white. So let me see if I can change that to black. So this is the product, okay? The XYZ March 60 call is the product that you're buying or selling. You have to get in your head that it's literally just like it's a piece of paper. This is my snowblower. Yeah. This is my snowblower. So really, it's just a piece of paper that says whoever it is can buy stock. You can't see it because it's all the green screen stuff. So now this is what we're doing. We're buying the option at 5. We're not buying it at 60. We're not buying it at 58. We're buying the option at 5. We bought the 60 call. So the XYZ March 60 call is the product, and we're buying it at 5. Okay, so boom, we bought it at 5. So we're gonna put down here. I mean, it could be once they say buy and sell, it doesn't matter what calls, puts, widgets, hats, hairs, wigs, whatever you want to call it. I use dirty words sometimes with some students, but I'm not going to do it now. Dirty words. Okay, now buy one call, doesn't matter, at 5. And then what happened? Stock went is at 60, 58, don't care. It went to 70. I may care in case it gives me that story. And then we closed the option at $12. So literally it's just and sold at 12. Okay. I'm yelling. It's sold at 12. Put a little dollar sign here. Sold at 12 bucks. So really what I do, I bought the thing at 5 and I sold it at 12. I made $7. That's all it is. We have a lot more to do, but that's all it is. I made $7. So which is times 100, $700 gain. Okay. That's all it is. That's really it all comes down to that. I'm going to show you other ones, but I'm going to throw a little curve on this one. Okay. So let's get rid of this part. And I'm going to change it to, and again, this is going to be a different answer, so it won't be on the list. I'm going to change it to closed at intrinsic value. Those bastards. I hate when they do that. Intrinsic and in the money mean the same thing. So let's do this. So the beginning does not change. It's still buy one March 60 call at 5. And then we close it at intrinsic. And now we don't care about when we put it on, so I don't care about the 58, but I do care about the 70. So it's trading at 70. So how much in the money is it? So it's a 60 call. It's in the money or has intrinsic of $10. This is where they screw with you. So it has an intrinsic of 10. So I'm going to say you bought the call at 60. You bought the 60 call at 5. See, I just did it. You bought the 60 call at 5, and then you sold it at intrinsic. And intrinsic, hope I can spell it right, not make an idiot of myself, is 10 bucks, right? So we bought it at 5 and sold it at 10. So what did we make? $5, $500. It's that simple, okay? I'm not saying it's easy to do, but it's fucking easy to do, okay? You should, when you see the buy and sell ones, you should be like, oh, I like this, I can get this, it's gonna work. Okay, that's one problem. I showed you two different ways. One where they give you the premium, super easy, buy and sell, and another one where they don't, where they do intrinsic, which a lot of the vendors love to do. Okay, let's get on to the next one. I'm gonna pause you, see it on the other side. Okay, so here's the next one. A customer in November writes 4 ABC 35 puts at 5 and buys them back at 7. Okay, so now we got to remember this. This is another little twist. So we wrote them, sold them. So what did we do? You don't have to do this every time, but I want you to get it in your head. I got to change the color back to this so I can see it. I look like an idiot. This is the product, okay? We sold 4 of them. We sold the ABC 35 puts at 5. Literally, once you say the word buyback or cover, they might say cover, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. All I care is what I did. So I sold this at 5, okay? So I sold the puts at 5. And then I bought them back. So I got $5 in, and then I bought the puts at 7. So then I lost 2. And you would think you were done, but we're not, because here's the thing. If you ever see your number, look, it's right there, $200 loss. Wait, how do I know it's a loss? Well, if I sell something for 5 and then buy it for 7, I spent more than I brought in. That is a loss, okay? So I lost $200, which sucks, okay? But it's literally, that's my entire investing. When I buy options, I'm good at trading them. I can't make money on them, so maybe I'm not so good. I don't know. Yeah, I lost $200. But here's the thing. So I look at this and I go, wait a second. Okay, I see my there, but I also see a multiple of my answer. So maybe I need to go back and check. It is seriously the way you do it. I see a multiple of my answer. I'm going to go back, and they do this all the time. Oh, look, there's 4 of them. So 4 times 200, this is going to be an $800 loss. Look, see all the way down there. Boom. A lot of extra arrows in there, but it's an $800 loss. That's what's happening here. Okay. So since we sold it at 5 and bought it at 7, we lost 2. We did it 4 times. And that's why it's an $800 loss. Now, keep in mind, if they're the same amounts, you don't have to worry about how many. Just do the numbers, get your number, and then multiply at the end. Kind of like when you have an option, and there's multiple contracts, like 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just throwing it in here as an add-on. If you have 2, 3, 4, 5 calls and they go break even, it doesn't really matter how many they have. Because if they have 8, say this one, if you sold 4 ABC 35 puts at 5, it's still break even, still 30 regardless. Okay. So break even's 30, does not matter. It's still 30. Now that doesn't matter here. I'm just saying that whether it's 4, 10, or 30 options, it's still 30. Now I'm going to change this up again a little bit and see what we can do. Let's change it to, hold on. I need to distract you. Here we go. So let's try this. Let's say the stock dropped to, give me a price, guys. Okay, right. So 28. Good. Okay, thank you very much. So stock dropped to 28. Now, and then we closed it at intrinsic. So, okay, what's the intrinsic? It's in the money amount. So we sold it at 5. Uh-oh, I think I screwed up. Sold it at 5 and then bought it back, closed it back, bought it back at intrinsic. So what's the intrinsic here? Well, the stock's in the money by 7 points. That's just horrible, right? Okay. So it's 7 points. So in reality, the in the money amount is intrinsic. It's literally the same thing. Not 47, 7. So I close it at intrinsic, literally the same thing. So that maybe that's what happened. So I close it at intrinsic was the in the money amount. So I sold it at 5. The intrinsic is 7. I sold it at 5. I bought it at 7. I lost $2 times 4, 800. I don't know how to say 800 in Spanish. Okay. That's number 2. Hopefully this is helping. I hope it is. And I'm fucking hyper because it's 9:30 on a Sunday and the Jets won. They beat the Patriots for no good reason other than maybe Belichick leaves the Patriots with a loss to the fucking Jets, baby. Okay. Okay, here's now one. Is that English? I have no fucking idea. Here's one that looks a little harder, and we're going to get through it together, people. Kumbaya, we're going to get it together. Okay. With the S&P 100 index at 238, you know what? I don't give a shit, okay? The customer writes 5 245 calls a tree, writes 5 235 puts a 2. Then the customer related buys. Oh, buys. I love it. That means it's easy. Buys it back. Crazy Eddie, crazy Kenny, where the options are insane. Okay. The customer related buys the calls at 4 and the puts expire worthless. So this is literally another buy and sell, but it's 2 options. And I'll show the old intrinsic thing, which both achievable cap and NSTC love to throw at you when the test probably doesn't. So let's start this off. Make sure I'm recording so I'm not being in total idiot for nothing. Okay, here we go. So again, now this is what I do. You don't have to do this. I know, wait, okay, there's 5 of them. So I'm going to put a little X5 up here, okay? Just to remind me that I'm going to have to multiply by 5. And I'll show you a little trick to remember. If you're looking at the answers, you should probably see it. So sold a 245 call at 3. I wrote it right. Then I also sold a 235 put at 2. Okay. Now, there's a couple ways to do this, but I say once I see the word buys, the call back and stuff, I don't worry about break even. I don't worry about max gain, max loss. I don't worry about any of that. I'm literally just doing this. Okay. So I sold for 3 and I sold for 2. I put them together since I sold them both, put them together, and that's a total of $5, which is really 500. So I now have $500 in my pocket from selling it. Now, later, much later, I buy it back I buy back the call for 4, and the option expires worthless, which is literally like buying it back for nothing, which is a good thing in a case. So in this case, I buy them back for 4 and 0. So I spend 4. So I brought in 5. I sold for 5, paid 4. That means I have a plus 100 profit. Okay. That works. And then times 5, there's my 500. But let's say you forget to do the times 5. But we all know, because you listen to me, because my screaming idiocy, you go, oh, it's $100 profit. Oh, wait, look, this is a multiple of it. Let me go back, check the numbers. Good, you idiot. You had to remember to put X5 there. Times 100 times 5 is your $500 profit. So this is a $500 profit. There is another way to do this in case you don't like this. It's all going to end up the same way. So let's do it this way. We sold the call for 3 and we bought it for 4. That's a loss in my books. So that's a -1. That's going to be minus $100. Now, and then we sold the puts for 2 and bought it back for nothing. To me, that's a gain. So that's a +2, plus 200. Let's do the dollar sign to keep it simple. So we lost 1 and got 2. That's that's $100 in my book. So either way you do it, whether you're adding them up this way, I can't speak, this way, with the totals, or you do it on a singular option. I used to like doing it this way, but I'm starting to like do it up and down now. So that's what she said. So 100, there you go, Mike. You're gonna love that. So now sell 100, buy for 100, you sell for 2, you make $100. Times 5 is $500. Now let's throw the achievable curve in here. Welcome back, because I can never left. Okay, so now stock dropped to 230, and then we bought it back for the infamous intrinsic. By the way, I say bought that way because that's from 20 years on the stock exchange. We save time. Everything's about saving time. So we want to take out the couple extra letters that bought. A lot of times it says B. Okay. So we bought it at intrinsic. So let's do this. Okay. So now, first of all, I sold the calls, sold the 245 calls at 3, bought them there. So let's take out the confusing part here. This part doesn't matter. I'll do this. So stock dropped to 230 and I bought it at intrinsic. So just work through each one. Okay. So in this case, and remember, intrinsic is the amount above or below, which I think I explained before, but I might not have. So, or watch my old video. So intrinsic, I'll put it here. Intrinsic is the amount above the call or the amount below the put. Okay. So again, they're two different. It doesn't matter, buy or sell. Premium doesn't matter. So the stock dropped to 230. I can't speak. Dropped to 230. So if it's a 245 call, wow, I am just not speaking. 245 call, it's out of the money to 0. So I have 0 intrinsic. So that's that. I have 0 intrinsic. So I bought it back for nada, for Zippo, for Zilch, for Zed. Okay, so now the next one is, I know that's really Z, but whatever. So now I sell a 235, put it 2. And then I bought it back for intrinsic when it's at 230. So that's going to be 230 from 235 is 5. So I'm going to buy it back for $5. That's just unfortunate. So I bought it back for $5 because that's the in the money amount or the intrinsic. So I sold the call for 3 and bought it for nothing. So I make 300. And then I sold the put at 2 and bought it for 5. And that's unfortunately -3. I just love these things. So that means I made no money. It's like kissing your sister. It's like break even. Okay. That is the buy and sell options. I hope that helped a little bit. That's not so bad. I hope I didn't screw you up by doing this, but I'll edit it out and try to make me sound like not such an idiot. Or I won't, and I'll just let you guys go on. Hey guys, check me out every Tuesday and Thursday night on 8:30 p.m. on the tube of you. And we do our classes every Friday night. You have to pay for that shit. But the YouTube stuff is free as free can be. Okay? You all have a good night. Wash your hands, and I'll see you on the other side. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this shit.